Hi guys, my name is Nate and welcome to the channel. So today I decided to do a video here on my Jeep, and I think I'm going to start actually uploading these here on this channel. I do some other stuff on YouTube relating to leather boots and whatnot, but I want a channel to kind of put other content on about, you know, other things that I'm interested in, not that stuff. So today I'm going to be showing you guys all the areas to look for rust on your Jeep XJs. So I picked this one up last August 2020. It's getting close to being a year here. A couple months and it'll be a year since I got it. And fun fact, I haven't actually driven it once on the road because it needed a ton of work, rust related, and I kind of screwed myself by not knowing what to look for. There's no way it would have gotten inspected here in PA for road use, and that's half the reason I wanted to get it. I may end up going wheeling with it. I'm not against that, but for now it's just going to be to drive around in. Pavement Princess, is that what they're called? But yeah, no, I do want to take it off-road some. But for now I'm just trying to get it, you know, licensed and legal. All right, to start with, you're going to want to check out these areas down here, right under the dash on both sides, the passenger and the driver's side. Excuse my horrible welds. I'm new to this. They've progressively gotten better, but honestly, it's a Jeep. It doesn't need to look pretty. It's not a Chevelle, but yeah, so it was all rusted out in here, really nasty. I've heard that there's a water pump, I believe it is. Maybe it's the thermostat or something that'll leak, and it'll put coolant down in here and rust it all out. I think that already happened on this because there was a patch already put in with some self-tappers and silicone. It was really badly done. So I replaced that. These brackets sometimes will rust out. You'll get rust intermittently in between here on these floor pans. So just check on the bottom. If you want to see what it looks like from the bottom, here you go. I haven't done anything under here yet. I'm going to actually sandblast this all and seam seal it from both sides. So I will have to do that. But check all the way along there. You want to check all the way along here on either sides. Obviously check your frame rails. My frame rails are all good, but you want to check that. You also want to look in the back here on this side and that side. Those pieces aren't really available, so I had to make them out of scrap tin. Actually, it's not scrap tin, but I did get the tin somewhere. That will rust out there where it kind of dips down. The water will pool in. It was really badly rusted around each fender well right here. Ignore this mess. I still don't know what I'm doing with that. I'm probably have to grind that down and re-weld it. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to this whole thing. So yeah, so it did rust out a ton right in here, which was really bad. Same on both sides, so do keep an eye out for that. Didn't rust too much over here. That side wasn't too bad. This side wasn't too bad either, but I did just cut it out just to get rid of the metal. Obviously, check things like the seatbelt bracket. It's not too bad, but you can see there, I can get in on it, that is rusting some. I sprayed it with anti-rust paint, but I might have to like cut this out and put a new patch in just to make sure that it's stronger. Now, another big thing here is where the seat belts are. So how this would work is you have your main seat here on the passenger side. This is the front of the seat. It's the rear of the seat. The rear of the seat would run right along here, and the bracket bolts down straight to the frame. You can see one of the holes right there for that. Now, this wasn't too bad, but the piece underneath it was really bad, so I had to replace those. I cut them out of some scrap steel that I had and welded them back in. You want to watch out for that. It'll kind of rust out here because this is right about here is where the seat belt hole is going to be. So I have to drill a hole through there and put a new one in, a new bolt in for the seat belt. Same thing on this side. I had to cut this out and patch it, and actually it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So now when I weld this floor pan in, I think it's going to provide a better result, and I won't have to reuse this. I'm using the stock bracket all the way down to here. The metal was okay, but this part wasn't. It goes under there, and I had to actually cut that out and make a new one there. Again, check in the front. I did have to put a patch up in here and some patches here on the side of the frame rail here. I guess that would be considered your rocker technically. And then I had to also reinforce this piece all the way across here because it was rusted out also. Obviously, you want to check your rockers all the way along here too. These are pretty solid the whole way except for right there. I know it's kind of hard to see with the lighting in here, but yeah, this is all rusted out. It's all cracked and flaky. I might actually get a rocker piece, or maybe a half rocker if they supply them, and cut it down on either side and fit it in. So you want to check that and make sure you don't have any rust like this. In my opinion, floor pans are a little bit easier because you can just slap them in there and go. But unfortunately, that stuff that's on the outside is a little more visible. So unless you're planning on covering it, like I'm doing here with Rhino liner or some sort of bed liner, you might have an issue. So this moves on to the next step. I have done some rudimentary body work here, and honestly, I don't think it looks too bad for a beginner. It's never done it before. I did get the dimensions perfect, which I was really surprised of, but you know, it happened. So I was just like, heck yeah, I'll take that. And yeah, put that in. Now what I'm gonna do is actually, this is taped off here, but I'm gonna tape all of these off, sand them down, and then do Raptor liner the whole way across those black pieces, just to keep it uniform and to help that stuff out. I think that'll add a good thing to it. Probably have to do this too because the fender flares come to about here, and I think this is visible, so I'll probably have to run a line that too. Let me grab my light here. All right, so part 2, you want to check. Holy crap, that is way too bright for the camera. There we go. So you want to check in your fender wells. You want to make sure that that stuff is not rusted out. Like you guys can see there, it's all kind of rusted. It was rusted right here. Now, the reason for that, excuse the sheep in the background, they're screaming about stuff for no reason. I have no idea why. But that is the rear seat bracket. I actually think that flips up. I'm actually not sure. I forget how this turns out. I think the seat actually sits in there. I'm really not sure, honestly. But I think that does. Yeah, that ties into the rear seat right there. And then you have your seat belts. This stuff bolts down here, so I'm just going to put a bolt through and weld it back in. But yeah, you want to check those brackets because that will get rust in there and it'll rust out the fender. What happened here? So I still need to finish this up. This looks a little bit rough. I need to finish tacking it in there, and we'll have to do that. So that's about it for the front and middle section. Obviously check around like your e-brake there and all that stuff. Make sure nothing's rusting through. I think I'm pretty lucky there. Usually the stuff that's up higher doesn't rust out as bad. Obviously check your seams here. Originally I was planning on not pulling the sections that are in here out, but as you guys can see, this is one of those pieces here. I did cut this out and I'm going to weld it back in because that's pretty important for the unibody strength. But yeah, I did have to remove those just to get the metal out from underneath them. So hopefully it welds back in correctly and all that looks good. That's what I'm hoping for, but you know, we'll see. All right, so moving on to the back. Let's cover the back here. Now, you're gonna have to remove all this plastic stuff to see in here when you're doing this. So when you're buying it, it might be kind of difficult, but at least get up underneath it and look as much as you can and try to make sure you find all this stuff. This is actually the only patch here on the frame. It kind of runs along here. I thought it wasn't very well done, but it seems to be actually pretty well done, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Again, you can see here that nasty fender stuff. I'm going to have to cut this all out and replace that. I did have to do a patch on the back side, along with the thing I did in the front for the right rear quarter panel here. And yeah, you want to check all that stuff out while you have the cargo bed up. Now, interestingly enough, the parts that rusted out on this cargo bed were along here, along the other side here, and a little bit up front, but really the majority of it in the center was perfectly fine. I think the gas tank, because the gas tank sits right up in here, it actually, right there is where the mounts clip in. It protected it a lot from the salt and I think whatever else, rust and water. So this wasn't too bad. You can see there's still the primer or paint or whatever they put on the frame, so that's still there. You want to also check for rust here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm probably just going to cut this out and put like a square sort of bracket back in around it, or might just leave it out of there. I don't know if that's too important. And then obviously check for rust, like right here. This is all rusted out nasty metal. That's going to be an issue, especially with the door bracket being in here, because this has to line up. Check for rust, especially on all the edges along here. Look at this nasty stuff. This is nasty, garbagey, bent up metal. Just like, you can like rip this off with your bare hands if you wanted to. It's so bad. This is going to be real fun trying to get this correct, because you do need to put, you know, the door seal trim goes, you know, all the way along here. So this seals the whole hatch. So whatever I do here has to work because the hatch has to seal. So that's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking and probably not very enjoyable, but it is what it is. Rolling to the front here, again, just check this stuff in the front. You can see a big old patch in here. I still need to wire wheel some of this stuff down and weld it from this side just to be a little bit on the strong side, because I mean the water is going to be coming in here, so I want to be on the safe side with that. Other than that, you know, all the rest of the stuff in here doesn't look too bad. By the way, I think I have a 3-inch lift kit on here, so I don't know if any of you guys who are intelligent with these things know what this is. I don't know what type of lift it is. I think it's about a 3-inch, and it seems to be pretty old. I don't know if someone changed something on here. I really know nothing about lifts in general. That's something I haven't gotten into yet. I probably will soon, but you know, is what it is. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at with that, but yeah, if you got any suggestions, let me know. All right, so for you guys wondering where I got my stuff from, this scrap steel here, I say scrap steel, but it's just stock steel. That one there, we're both from Metals Depot, I believe it's called, online. I guess I probably could have gotten the stuff from a scrapyard or got it from a local place, but they are a USA company from what I understand, so I was like, yeah, it's okay. And got it from them. This is from Classic to Current Fabrications. You can find them online if you search for it. They're probably the only cargo area that's going to come up for a 84 to 96 Cherokee. So there's that. And obviously the floor pans here and the floor pan on that side are both from Quadratech, along with the new right rear quarter panel right there. Also, it seems that these seat brackets are out of stock like almost everywhere. And so I got these off eBay. Looks like some small company, a guy or two maybe, making these up in their garage or whatnot, just fabbing them up, which is super cool. These things are freaking heavy duty as flip. Like, they're thick. Probably, I don't know if they're twice as thick as your factory, but these things have some serious weight to them, and that's absolutely amazing. I'd much rather put heavier duty than lighter duty back in the Jeep. So I got those off eBay. I want to say they were only like 50 or 60 bucks. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you got any comments, questions, any tips on how to do this better, anything like that, appreciate it. Subscribe for more stuff. I don't know how often I'm going to do these videos. I stay pretty busy with my other channel and full-time job, so time is limited. But I'll try to do these as quick as I can. Probably whenever I actually get one of these projects done with this Jeep, I'll try to make a video on it. I have brake lines to do, exhaust to do, installing a fuel tank, probably putting in the carpet and all the painting, and I'm going to do like lizard skin on the interior so it doesn't rust through. Painting on the bottom, I might make a video about sandblasting and painting that. Probably have to redo the headliner because I got blue carpet, and this camo, True Moss, True Tree, True Timber is not going to match very well at all. I don't care what anyone says, it's going to look like garbage. So that's it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.